Hello Aquarius, welcome to September 2018. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm getting a message before I even really talk about the cards of the number 3, which we have the 3 of Swords in the center. It's the only number 3 that came out. But when I pulled out Judgment with the 3 ghosts here, the 3 swords here, I had this ping and it was like, expect things to happen in threes. And I don't quite know exactly what that means or how that's really going to speak to you. But it's almost as though things that wouldn't seem like they would normally be a part of a series, like of events, are going to be like a series of events. And they're going to be very significant in your life. Significant to your future path. 3 of Swords indicates to me that you went through something of a recent disappointment, a recent sadness. On the one hand, external circumstances affected you. But see, the thing about this card is that the man has one sword, the woman has another sword, but no one is holding that 3rd sword. It's almost as though you put it in yourself. And it's possible that you really had to finish something. You had to quit something, you had to move away, you had to change something. You know, this is kind of a dramatic time for you guys because we have the 8th house activity going on. And the 8th house stuff is deep. The 8th and 12th houses really resurface a lot of things. And it forces honesty and authenticity with ourselves. No one put that 3rd sword in. That was something you created on your own. But I think you knew that it had to be done. You had to put an end to something. You had to stop something. Because if you didn't, you would be denying yourself the abundance of what your future self really wants for you. This is what I call a necessary evil in life sometimes. It is what pushes us and what motivates us to get to where we need to be. Judgment and Temperance, hands down, have been coming out in every single reading, whether in the generals or in the comprehensive portion of the reading. Hands down. Judgment indicating, well, first of all, this is especially applicable to you, especially because with the Virgo activity in your 8th house, especially Aquarian ascendants, we've got the Sun and Mercury going down there to the underworld where Pluto or Hades lives. So here is Mercury in the underworld. Okay? It's not an accident this card is coming out, because now is a time when people, everybody, needs to clean out their basement. This is the time when we cannot deny the things that have been plaguing us anymore. Mercury is speaking. He is our messenger. He is our servant. He is doing us a favor by pulling that stuff up. He's down there for a reason, you know. He's down there because your underworld, your subconscious, your inner workings have something that they need you to know. His job is to bring it up into your consciousness so that you are aware, so that you can work with it, so that you can deal with it. Temperance comes out as a true blessing. She is without a doubt my favorite card in this deck. I'm using the Mythic Tarot deck, by the way. I was traveling and didn't bring my cards with me on accident, so I went to a psychic shop in Denver and bought this. So a little bit different than normal. And normally I don't really get excited about the Temperance card, but here she is. Every single reading coming out. After 7 minutes of shuffling, here she is. Again. An indication of peace and serenity and balance, where the water from the gold cup to the silver cup, from the sun to the moon, or in your case, the sun going into your underworld and to illuminate certain things in order to establish balance and inner peace. Whatever this Three of Swords was in your life, it's not really a big deal. It was the stepping stone that had to occur to get you to a place of inner peace. That's what Hermes is trying to get from you as well, or help to deliver to you as well. Now we have the Hierophant coming out. In this deck, Hierophant is an image of Chiron, which is our wounded healer. You know, Chiron is such a huge part of our personality. He indicates that place in our life where, for whatever reason, we constantly struggle. You know, I have it in the 9th house in Gemini, where speaking and trusting my own mind and making connections and being articulate and all this, I mean, it's a real complex for me. People who have Chiron in Taurus, they struggle with senses of self-worth, self-love, self-respect. They struggle with money and resources. They struggle with stability and self-reliance. People with Chiron in Aries, they suffer from, like, who they are. They identify so heavily with other people and other groups that they don't really give themselves enough credit. They don't have this sense of identity. So wherever your Chiron lies in your own chart is probably going to be highlighted this month. And it is time for you to become your own master, or to visit a master, or to visit a guru of some kind to help give you guidance. Chiron offers blessings only. As you can see with that hand symbol there, it represents a blessing. He is a keeper of wisdom, a keeper of truth, but he too is found in the darkness, the dark cave up on the mountain. We must travel into the darkness in order to understand the light. 10 of Pentacles reversed indicates to me that there is either some financial stuff going on, okay, or there is some feeling of lack or some expense that comes up. And I know that's kind of a petty, sort of silly, typical explanation of the 10 of Pentacles. However, because we're in an Earth season, it does bring it into the real world. You know, it does represent the physical reality that we see before us. And so there could be something that happens, a shakeup in your finances or something like that. And it's totally fine, you know, because you have the power of the 8 of Pentacles on your side. The 8 of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. I have a lot of favorite cards, but the reason why I love this so much is because when we feel engrossed in a project and we connect with that flow, that creation flow, it gives us deeper insight into the creation of the universe. It's one of those things where you sit down and you work on a project and all of a sudden 5 hours goes by and you're like, holy cow, I feel like I just sat down. That's a very spiritual process. No matter what you're creating, whether you're making, model airplanes, whether you're writing, you're painting, you're sculpting, whatever. It's a spiritual act. And you will be connecting with your spirituality. You don't have a choice. 8th house stuff, please. You don't have a shot in the dark. You know, it's gonna happen. You are going to access those dark places within yourself, and it is not scary at all. It wants you to succeed. This is a time, a season of success. The way Virgos succeed, the way they push, the way they drive, they succeed. And while you may feel like you are lacking, 10 of Pentacles reversed, it is important for you to remember that any sense of lack in the outside world is merely a reflection of a feeling of lack on the inside world. And it is so important to fix the inside stuff if you ever want the outside stuff to work out better. Now, Page of Swords comes out. This is the very first time he's come out for me, and it's fitting for an air sign. The very first time he comes out, and he's so, or she is so whimsical. And I do love that about Aquarians. You know, they're very capable of just one thing after the next. They're very good at living in the moment if they allow themselves to do that. They're very good at focusing on the here and now. The Page of Swords indicates that words will flow through you. You will be communicative. You will be in a place of study. I always see this as my student of the zodiac. Interested in new information, interested in making significant changes. And people are going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to see you. They're going to want to integrate with you. They're going to want to know what you've got going on. So you guys may be doing a Virgo hermit, or in this case, a Hierophant kind of thing, where you isolate a little bit. You don't have to be the most social, it's okay. But I do know that people are going to want to hear from you. Page of Swords. Now, Two of Cups reversed. I think is connected with the Three of Swords, which is in turn connected with the Judgment card, the three ghosts in the Judgment card. I'll turn it upright so you can see it. You know, Two of Cups is normally about union, togetherness, compromise, negotiation. And so when it's reversed, it can often represent a breakdown in communication. You might be the one stopping, or someone else may be the one stopping, even though people are... Now, you might be paying attention to someone else may be paying attention to you. Either way, there's eyes being made, right? People are aware of what you're doing. People are paying attention, okay? And Two of Cups reversed, there is a possibility of something not quite working out the way you hoped, which is symptomatic of what's happening in the underworld. That's how it always works, you know? If something doesn't work out on the surface, you need to look inside. What isn't working out on the inside? And man, 8th house stuff gets so deep. It's time for you guys to emote. Okay, to 10 of Cups. This is the key to feeling whole. Now I'm going to clarify this in the comprehensive. Probably I'm going to clarify it first, because I don't see a lot of stressful energy here at all other than the Three of Swords. It's mostly just coping with something or healing from something, dealing with something, you know. And that's a process that everyone is going to go through in a different way. Some people are going to have a really hard go of it, and other people are going to do just fine and just move on, and it's okay. They're going to go to work. They're going to put their head down. They're going to accomplish stuff. They're going to be productive. And they're going to attain the 10 of Cups. They're going to rectify the 2 of Cups reversed like that. Other people aren't. It will depend. But the 10 of Cups is something that you are creating on your own. And I think that's very connected with the 8 of Pentacles, that flow energy. People who delve into the 8 of Pentacles, like I say, putting your head down and creating something, they are more at peace with life in general, I've noticed. It's not an attorney that sits down and does their work, okay? It's an artist that sits down and paints something. It's a teacher who sits down and puts together a course to help people, right? It's their offering or their contribution to the world. People who delve in and take this 8 of Pentacles process very seriously are generally more calm, cool, and collected. King of Swords. It's an essence of Libra there. But it's you. King of Wands, King of Swords, and now 9 of Swords. Yeah, and again, the 3 demons again coming out. So why am I seeing it that it's possible that you may experience things in a series of 3? I'm not sure why that is. Even the swords are grouped into 3 groups of 3. Why is that? 3 things happen. Your past is projecting into your present. That will get clarified as well. The past is projecting into the present. And I think you're seeing the fruits of that. See, Virgo season is harvest season for everybody. Now is a time when we look at what we have sown. You reap what you sow. So what are you reaping? How does your harvest look? How bountiful is your harvest? Two Kings. We'll clarify the relationship here as well. But the King of Wands is an energy of Aries. It's one of strength. It's one of power. It's one of direction. This is unstoppable. It is impulsive. It's a driver for sure. King of Swords is more relaxed. Okay, he's more chilly, as we see with the wintry quality there. He's more thoughtful and pensive. He considers things, right? Libra. It's a card, an energy of consideration, thinking things through, left versus right. Let's think things through before we make any kind of decisions. Is this an inner battle between the 2 parts of you? Is this 2 people other than you? Is this the man and woman that are putting the swords into your stomach like that? You know, I don't know. I'm not sure, so we'll clarify that. But I think in general, this month is going to be productive. It will be productive in healing. It will be productive in progress. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. Lots to clarify, so there's lots to do. So I hope to see you guys on the website, but if not, then I will see you next month. All right? Thanks so much. Take care.